Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Quivero, and you're watching Vision Podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy JC. I'm back right here with my co-host Caesar, and we got a special guest right here. We got DJ Quivero right here.
What's good? What's good, guys?
Tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
You guys can find me on Instagram. It is just search me up on Instagram, Quivero Music. On Twitter, Quivero_. And those are the only social medias I got, but you can also find me on Facebook. Just search up Quivero. You can also find my music on Spotify, SoundCloud, Deezer, all these major music platforms. Just search up Quivero. I'll be right there.
Caesar, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at screaming_wolf, on Snapchat, xGalaxyDolphinX, and on Twitch as screaming_wolf.
Alright, let's get started.
So bro, what got you into music? What first got you into music, bro?
So, my family is they're not really revolved around music. Usually if I were to get inspired by music, it would probably be like my family. But I think it was back in 2016 during like the Coachella season, and I had gotten like some tickets to go. And before anything, I wasn't really into like the electronic music scene or anything like that. But my sister told me about this DJ. His name's Martin Garrix, and she told me like, hey, we should go see him. It's gonna be cool. He's like an electronic music DJ and all that. And so we went over. It was towards the Sahara tent. And so throughout the show, he had these crazy laser lighting. His visuals were crazy, and I was like, damn, that would be sick. I would want to do that one day. And so that's what started everything for me, is because of Martin Garrix. He's like my inspiration, he's like my idol. It's like that's what actually got me to this journey, and to this day he's probably the reason why I'm still going. It's like he's just a big influence.
My question to you is, how much did you pay for your tickets at that time compared to now?
Honestly, my parents had got them, and they're like, "Oh, you guys could go these next 2 days." So I was like, "All right, I'm taking the opportunity and going."
Because now it's like $600 each ticket.
Yeah. So your family had a big, how would I say it? Like a big, not a big inspiration, a big help.
They helped. Because my cousins and my deals, they usually play they play instruments. Like my cousins play bass, guitar, drums, percussion and all that. And they influenced me in a way. It's just that I was more of a synthesizer, me being able to control and experimenting with sounds.
Yeah.
And so I would be down to play an instrument. It's just that I'm not really an instrument guy. I don't even really know music theory either, but I just do what sounds right to me. But you could say that my cousins did have an influence to me for music, for sure.
How would you describe the music that you typically create?
Different, for sure. Different, especially since it's coming from the desert. Because you don't really get electronic music scene. If anything, it's probably going to be more towards Palm Springs or when the festival's around. Because you got the private parties. You got what's it called? What's that one festival in Palm Springs?
Yeah, Splash House.
Splash House, there you go. That's one of the main reasons that when electronic is present. But my goal is to bring that scene towards here. So, yeah.
It was here. It was a pretty good scene. Like when it was hitting right, it was a real good scene. A lot of extra stuff went into it, so it messed it up. But it was a really good scene when it was around here. If you could open up a show for any artist, who would it be?
Right off the bat, Martin Garrix. Easy.
And before you did EDM, did you ever do the dances? How they were shuffling?
Dude, my mom has clips saved of that. I think it was back in 2010, 12. Me and my friends would always come outside. And then DJ Blend, when that was popping, we'd watch the videos, we'll shuffle to that, shuffle battle and all that. We still got that Malaysian, it's dude, it's
I forgot about Malaysian dance too, that's crazy.
I think it's because when Malaysian came out, dubstep was popping, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when Malaysian was like more like hardcore, like EDM, you know, it's like you're stomping on the floor. And the fact that it still exists, but it's mainly like in EDM festivals that you see that more.
Do you ever integrate dubstep into your mixing, or is it just
I
straight
mean,
EDM?
because you know, dubstep, it has like trap in it. It has like, you know, you got
Yeah, it has its different own little lanes. So that's why.
yeah. And so what I like to do is like in my most recent single Tension, I like rap a lot. I like electronics, so I want to combine those two. And so in the drop, you're gonna hear some half times where like the beat's gonna come in, then it's gonna go back to the EDM, you know, tempo. And at the break of the song, like the calm part, you're gonna hear like a trap beat. And you know, I just try to make it flow along, try to combine two genres into one. You know, it's almost like bass house if you say it, but with trap in it. So I don't know really. Bass trap house maybe.
I mean, it's crazy how it's all broken down into its own little different things.
There's a lot of subgenres in EDM too.
You go ahead.
What is one of your favorite venues to play, or that you've played in?
One of my favorites, it's gonna be I recently played, because we had one right here on, I think it was right here at the Veterans but at the Dateland Park. There's this festival called Synergy, and so it was a really great, you know, what do you call it? It was organized really well. You know, they had stages, they had foods, you know, they had like other like small businesses come together. And, you know, it was a great place because it wasn't just about the music, and it was also about, you know,
community,
networking, and everything. You know, coming together. But at the same time, you know, it was just a really great venue. I really enjoyed that. And another one was going to be the Hue. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, because I think it originates from Desmarach High School, like the Youth Creative Festival. That's another one that I really, really love too. Is, you know, crazy how like the youth from like high schools are creating festivals already. It's like, damn.
I mean, it started. I think the first one was here in Coachella, and by the day park, right where the skate park.
Yeah.
Then they moved to Mecca.
You guys want to know a crazy story? Not a lot of people remember this. OGs remember this, but Blend came out here. There was a guy, shout out to my guy, Pamphilo, and everybody that was in it, was able to come out, was able to get DJ Blend to come out and spin in thermal in a ranch for
I think it's
2 days.
Ranch?
I can't remember. It was like, I think 2 days, or it was like either 2 days or 2 weeks, but he was barely up and coming, and they got him out here. And this was prior to when he came to Palm Springs. Don't get it mixed up. We got him out here before anybody. That's how it went. Well, whoever's OG, you guys remember that story, but not a lot of people remember that. DJ Blend came out here. That shit was sick. It was like for like 2 days at a ranch in thermal, and you're just like, damn, you know, like who would expect that? But
it's crazy because like back then, you know, he was DJing in his room. Now he's like going all over Europe and stuff. I was like, damn, that's crazy. I forgot about him after a while, and so I remember I was like, damn, I wonder what happened to DJ Blend. I searched up his videos. Oh, he's traveling the world now, bro.
Honestly, I think in Europe is where it really goes more.
EDM, yeah. Usually Amsterdam, because they have this dance event called ADE, and that's where music producers and DJs get together, and you know, they bring out the big artists and they host like master classes or something on how they create their productions. And you know, that's one of my dreams to, you know, go participate in one of those. You know, I'd want to learn from the big artists and everything.
I would like to go to one of those EDM festivals overseas, because just even their like whole stage setup, bro, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's literally crazy. And you pay for your stage setup, but either way, there's like people that come out with like big old it was like like a dinosaur. This one guy had like a dinosaur, and it's like kind of basically dubstep, but at the same time it's like performing and everything. So let's imagine you're rolling balls and you're seeing all this and it's moving and it's a big old dinosaur and it's just all kinds of crazy shit, and it's bad because you're giving somebody a visual on top of the music that you're playing, which is great. And it's like something that makes people want to go see you more.
Tomorrowland.
Yes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Because I've heard of Tomorrowland and EDC. That's about it.
Yeah. So there's stuff over there, and it's crazy. Like they really do have large festivals. I mean,
let's go tomorrow.
What would you be doing right now if it wasn't for music?
Right now, probably just like focusing on school, if anything. Well, I'm still doing school, but I mean, I'll probably be doing more of like business things, like trying to create my own business. I'm doing that under my wing as right now, but my main priority right now is just music. If anything, school and music. and use business in a way for my music and everything, you know, marketing.
How do you stay on top of your things with all the projects that you have?
You know, I feel like time management is really a big, you know, deal when it comes to creating music, because when you wake up, you know, you gotta at least have a plan. You gotta have an agenda of what you're gonna do. So like, okay, I'm gonna have an agenda. I'm gonna create the song and I'm gonna finish by this time. And so for the next part, you're like, okay, I can work on this other project and get that done. And so it's better to have an agenda. You know, stay informed what you're doing so you can be on track.
Is it just you, or do you have people like helping you?
It's just me.
It's just you right now. Right now.
Yeah, right now it's just me. Like all of my distributions, all my music marketing, all the design. That's just on me. I like if I get signed to a label, that's all them. Like they're gonna be in charge of like marketing and everything and getting into playlists. But when I'm releasing by myself, it's just me. If anything.
Do you plan on doing any collabs with local artists this year?
I'm talking to a couple right now. Marsh from 49. I'm not sure you guys know him. He's a rapper from here from the Valley that I'm really looking into collabing with. You know, he has sick vocals. You know, his rap style is really sick. You know, it's different. It's pretty dope. And so, other one is one that I want to work with is Provoked Poetry.
Yeah.
He's another one that has like a really good flow. You know, really sick vocals. You know, I really feel like we could create something with like electronic and hip hop. You know?
Yeah, that's a really
That'd be
good
sick.
mix. It was popping kind of like that around that era too. It was like 2010, 2013 when hip hop and EDM were pretty on the radio, controlled the radio. And in reality, they really were every other day. Like boom, you hear EDM.
Yeah. If anything, pop is already EDM too. Like
Yeah,
you listen to it on the radio, like like Diplo made that song.
Even
Yeah,
games
made
now
that song.
too. Even games like
Oh yeah,
you know what I
bro.
mean?
Yeah.
Like just the freaking music they have in games.
Yeah, it's
all
crazy.
EDM.
It's like, and it's crazy how like a lot of like artists like under like people who come from like bedroom artists, like it's crazy how they getting to the charts like very very quickly. It's just crazy with how much talent there is.
Okay. What is your creative process like?
Well, when it comes to creative process, it's because sometimes there's moments where I get like writer's block. Writer's block is where basically where you can't come up with things. But what I do is, if I want to go for a certain style, I like to listen to other tracks first so I can use as a reference. And so, I listen. I was like, okay, this song's structured like this, and so if I want to do that, that's what I listen to. But I put my own twist to it, and so that's just what I do. Is like I get a lot of reference tracks. You want to be open to lots of varieties of songs so you can listen to, and I just use those tracks for structuring, sound design maybe, and all that.
Do you add tags to any of your mixes?
Tags? No, I don't use ad tags or that. If anything, when I'm posting a track, I will use like hashtags, but I don't have like any like
when your music like Quivero music, you know what I mean? Like that, no? That's cool. Something to look into, you know what I mean? So later on in your mixes,
yeah, so people can know it. Or for DJ mixes, I'm gonna begin. It's just that I don't like using my words because
you get people to come in like a girl, like
yeah.
She'll be like, oh, say this real quick, you know what I mean? Yeah, just say this, and then you mix, and you're like, oh, all right, cool. That's it.
Yeah.
And then give them $20. Oh, here, just
Yeah.
later on, so you're not like, hey, I did this.
Yeah,
you owe me royalties.
I went viral.
Okay, so we were speaking earlier, and it's different with music artists because music artists have to basically buy beats as opposed to you guys, and you guys have to mix, and you guys have to be able to get clearance for the samples. Tell the people how that works more or less for you.
So when you're working with samples, because there's big artists that release like sample packs, or there's this website called Splice, and that Splice what do you call it? It's a website where you can download like samples by using credits. And when it comes to electronic music, most of them are royalty free, so that's why a producer might hear a sample that's been used a couple times before, so like, oh, you know, a lot when it comes to samples, you know, you're free to use most of them because, you know, artists say, you know, this is royalty free, so that means you could use it. Like in my track Tension, I used a vocal from Splice, and so I was able to distribute, you know, in a good way, no demonetizations, none of that. So really look into for samples that you're able to use that are royalty free, because if you don't, it's just gonna, you know, you're not gonna be able to post your music anywhere. So how do you do that? I'm not sure, but a lot of sample packs come with like a text document that say like the set of rules they gotta do.
Yeah, it's like a lease. It gives you the contract that tells you, hey, look, this is what you're allowed to do, not what you're allowed to do, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people bypass, by the way.
The fact that I deleted like had like a gigabyte of like really the licenses, was like, damn, I should really look into that now. Like,
yeah, because it breaks it whatever you're allowed to do. Like each different license gives you different amount of distributions, a lot of different like radio play and different stuff like that. So each license is different when you buy it, as opposed to like for them, they're allowed to sample if it's free.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And what's crazy is some people use a song, but they'll be putting it out like that, and they don't even tag the producer.
Yeah, they will make it sound like if it was theirs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they won't tag a producer or anything like that.
Also-
Which I mean is not bad, but when it comes down to it, legitimately, it's like you owe credit to somebody. You know what I mean?
And also it all depends, because it's weird on how like monetization works, because say you have this vocal and, you know, it's not free to use, and so say you buy it, but you get monetized or demonetized for using it. What you could do is probably like just pitch it down, or, you know, pitch it to the key you want to put it in. And that's how it works, you know. As long as like it sounds different from the original, you should be good. Like maybe add some harmony to the vocals.
That's what a lot of like
Yeah.
Mexican artists do too, when they mix like different songs, when they're right there and they keep saying, yeah, and this that sounds like the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But they'll
yeah.
say like a different word. Like, oh no, we didn't say the same word. I said this word different.
So I get, you know, I get to
Get
get
to use it,
paid.
yeah, get to use it and shit. Okay, I get you.
Yeah, so that's just a way to, you know, bypass that.
Because
you know,
I've seen that a lot on YouTube. Like they'll have like a song in their video, but they would change like the
Audio.
the voice sound. You
Yeah,
know?
they'll just like pitch it down or slow it down, or
Alright. Okay, my next thing is
So when you first started, you know, DJing, how and where was your first performance?
I think it was when I turned 8, because I had a different name, a different, like, it wasn't Quivero, it was like Deluxe Music or something, and it was my birthday.
how did you get deluxe music?
Random name generator. Same thing with this one. Quivero, I went onto random name generator because this is DJ called Quintino, and so I got the key from his name, and then I just put it into random name generator, and I came up with this. Like, oh, same thing with the Deluxe, but it was with the Z. And so I was like, oh,
Okay.
sounds pretty dope.
Nah, I mean, I have seen that. You know, like even like when they're doing the emails, where it tells you like, hey, you can use this email.
Yeah. You're like,
Alright, I get you.
and so my first performance was in my backyard. It was my birthday, I think it was 18. I invited a couple of friends over that, hey, you know, come through, I'll be DJing for a bit. So it was my first ever performance, so I probably didn't even sleep at all that night.
Nervous and shit.
I was like, damn, you know, if I mess up, what's gonna happen? Just that night was crazy. A lot happened that night. You know, I didn't expect anything, so I don't want to get too much into detail, but because you know, I want to keep people's information out of the way. But just know it was crazy. It's like I told my friends, I was like, hey, you know, if you're gonna drink before you get here. Obviously, like not drive, but like I was like, before you even enter my house, you can drink, but do it outside, not inside my house, because you know I didn't want to put my parents at risk with the cops or anything. But
It's crazy. Nobody thinks like that. Like my parents tried like implementing that to me. Like, look, this is why you can't drink here, and I'm just like, come on. Like, look at all the alcohol. You can't tell me I can't drink. But I get you. Not like I said. Not a lot of people think that way. Like, oh, my parents. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't throw this house party here. I was gonna get the cops called and probably shut up. But that's pretty
and
good.
so just so there was someone passed out on the floor for the whole rest of the night. I was like,
Do you ever think like that sucks? Like someone like is too high, you don't even remember the show. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's like a vibe killer, you know. It's like because everyone, I just try to have a good time with everyone, you know. I'm not faulting anyone, you know. It happens. It's a party, you know. It's Friday night, dog. You know, you gotta get down on Friday nights. But you know, when it comes to that, to where you know you're too, you know, messed up to actually, you know, or we have to carry you out, it's just like, damn, man, I told you not to. but you know, I think it's like, yeah, they're having a fun time, so I just like, it's all good.
What have you learned from then to where you are now? DJ wise, and I guess music wise, and like business wise as well.
You know, what I've learned is don't worry. You know, do what you love, what you love playing as a DJ. You know, as long as it makes you happy. You know, even if you got the dance floor empty, you know, just keep doing you know, be happy. Don't settle into, you know, like trying to satisfy others. You know, yeah, that's the point of a DJ. But you know, if you're enjoying it, keep doing it. You know, that's what I think. You know, never settle for like trying to satisfy people, and just, you know, do something that makes you happy. And so, same thing with music. Don't really get involved with the mainstream. You know, experiment, be different, bring something new to the table. That's what a lot of, you know, record labels look into as well. It's like you could have, say like Martin Garrix. He has his sound, he has his music, and then if this guy wants to sign with Martin Garrix, and he sounds exactly like Martin Garrix, like why am I gonna sign this person that sounds like Martin Garrix if there's already a Martin Garrix? You know, it's like it's better to be different, bring in something different to the table. Doing that will bring you more opportunities too, so that's just another thing.
Bro, it's crazy. There is like that random one time where like you have the same, like an artist that sounds like the same, but after that one little point, that's it.
Yeah.
Like you don't really hear him. Like what's his face, Designer?
Mm-hmm.
When everybody's like, oh, he sounds like Future.
Future, yeah.
Sounds like
It's
Future.
like,
After Panda went away, it's like
that was it.
Yeah.
when did you really?
Because like,
hear it?
it's because there's already a Future, you know. There's already someone that sounds like that makes it even better. And Future's like an OG of that too. So it's like, why?
Bro, his memes are freaking fire.
Well, okay. So as for that,
So when you did that first performance in your house, were you deluxe music or you were already
Deluxe.
you guys- Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And the fact that a random guy showed up. I've heard about this guy a couple times because my cousin, like, anywhere you throw a party, he's gonna pull up. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He was a hype man. He had like a cane. He was like, what, like 50-something years old, and he had a cane, and he just started dancing.
and he pulled up to your pad.
And he pulled up to my pad. The door from the backyard was open. He just came in with the cane. He just started, like, he was the hype man of the party. So I was like, yeah, let's go. And Mike's is like, damn.
Damn, that's cool.
Do you ever hit him up to go to your shows?
I haven't heard from the guy in a while. Because it was over here. It was down in 52 where we did the party. And so he lived near me. So we're like, oh, okay, makes sense. And then the fact that my neighbors were having a party too. And so once mine was over, he moved on to the next neighbor's party. I was like,
Damn.
yo, this guy's crazy. What?
It was trippy, dog. It was like, fuck it, bro. You gotta live sometimes. Dude.
I know, you know, he's like, fucking party life, man.
What is the best advice that you've been given? So far, I guess. So far, you know what I mean?
So far, damn. I remember because I recently went to this hotel in Palm Springs, so there's like producers like in a room, they were making music. His name was Sounds by Mystic. He came over to Palm Springs and he invited me over because he wanted to make music. And so, you know, there's times where I'm like self-doubt, you know. I even talked to Sebastian about it. Remember that night where it's like, damn, you know, like there's moments where I have like doubts in my mind and stuff.
Like you don't believe it, like, oh shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's moments too where like, should I really be continuing like with the music stuff? You know, is it really gonna work out? 'Cause, I don't know. It's just a lot of doubt. It happens.
We're back. Let's continue. How long did it take you to get to where you are right now?
Damn. Because before I even started music, like before I even created a name for as an artist, I had the demo for FL Studio, and I was like, you know, just experimenting first, you know, seeing how like music is structured, and I got to learn a little bit about the DAW, or digital audio workstation, as they say it. But it took me probably like 2-3 years. So it's not too long, but I'm still learning though. To this point, I'm still learning sound design, learning how to EQ, learning how to mix vocals. But it's still not the end. So for sure.
No,
Still
hopefully
learning.
not. You know what I mean? Hopefully not.
Got a long way for sure.
What are some mistakes you wish you could have avoided when you first started?
Damn. So for my first track, damn. I don't know what equalizing was. I just mashed.
I could already see that.
everything. I just mashed everything together and actually posted it on SoundCloud. To this day, you can still find my music on it.
Yeah.
It's like my old name. Yeah.
Oh, dang.
It's like I go back, I'm like, damn, bro. But the good thing, everything was on key though. But it's just a mix. When you listen to it, you're like, damn, that sucks.
It's crazy though. Like you could see your progress in your own stuff. You know what I mean? So like when you're here, and like boom, right there.
Yeah, like you're able to tell the difference and everything. You're like, oh, I actually, structure-wise, music, sound design-wise, everything. It's crazy how you could like, you're like, oh damn, I actually did improve some way. Learn as you go.
How was your first beat? Like, how would you describe it?
So first, before even the one out on SoundCloud, I named it I Suck at EDM, and so hey, I took a melody from this song called Intro by the XX, and so I remade it, and so I put like a kick drum like in EDM, like boom boom, and so I put it down onto the melody, and in some way I thought it was good, but everything was just out of tempo, dude. It was like the kick was going constantly, and then the melody was late. It was just, dude, it was not good. It was bad. I don't know why I could. Well, I mean, it's bad. Obviously, it's like experimenting, but I was like, damn, am I really that bad? But YouTube comes in clutch. They teach you
Tutorials and shit.
This is how you keep everything on tempo. Chord progression and all that.
That is really good. How do you handle adversity and doubt? Adversity and doubt.
So I usually handle it like I take a break, like not long breaks, but like when I'm in a state of mind where I'm creating, like if I'm making music and I'm just stressing over it, I like to take breaks from time to time. So like say I work on a track for like 2 or 3 hours, and like okay, let me take an hour break, let me go outside, go to the gym for a bit, and then just come back and do work on that. I like, because you gotta balance health and work at the same time. That's the main key components. Like balancing your life on day.
It's crazy. Nobody really thinks about the health once they're like their career-wise is going, because you're like, oh, I just want to make it, but at the same time you're like, you should really fix your health or your image.
The fact that I actually recently, because I had a talk with my dad. He was lecturing me. Hey, you can't be staying up late all the time. I remember because I would always be up late in the night, making music or something, or learning. And so I would sleep like till 4, 3 in the morning, and then I'll wake up like 10, 11, 12. And then my dad started telling me, like, hey, you gotta stop doing that, because if you sleep early, wake up early, you have lots of time in the morning.
You honestly do.
Yeah. Because dude, you wake up at 5, 6, 7 in the morning, you're ahead of everyone, because people are barely like.
They're still in the like second dream and shit. Like they're still.
Yeah, every time when I would sleep late, every time I would wake up, I noticed this huge mood change. I was always negative. I was always, I was, your creativity goes out for a little bit, and so I feel like, when you sleep early, wake up early, your creativity is better. You have a better mindset. You feel good about yourself, because when I would wake up lightheaded all the time, never wanting to work. I was too lazy to go onto my computer and make music. But now, if I wake up early, sleep early, and I just feel good about myself. It's like that's how I see it. It's just like wake up early, sleep early, you should be good.
Honestly, not a lot of people think about their health in reality, especially with music, because music does stress you out a lot. I think when it stops being fun is
When you burn yourself out.
yeah, is what it really sucks. When it stops being fun is when you're just like, damn. And that's when a lot of those questions start coming into my mind, like, should I keep doing this?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like when I was sleeping, you know, I wasn't even progressing in myself. You know, I wasn't even releasing. And so I'm at the stage where, because there's certain stages for music producers. You know, first one is obviously learning, you know, your digital audio workstation. Second is, you know, actually releasing music. You know, you learn mixing and somewhat mastering. And in stage 3 is where, you know, where they call it the dip. It's basically where you have your self-doubts. That's where everything starts coming into you. And 1% of the people usually come out of that stage. And, you know, I'm in that stage right now, but I see myself, you know, getting better and better, moving more away.
So a little bit of the light. Like,
yeah, like, you're just right there, you know, it's like, you just gotta keep going, you know, if you're strong enough, you'll make it out. If you're not, you're done.
Yeah. That's crazy. I thought about that too. Like, how do you bounce back from that? You know what I mean? Like, how do you bounce back from like trying to go from your career to just taking the L?
You just gotta, you know, you gotta take a break. You know, that's how, like you said, you know, 1-2 week vacay. You know, chill out. You know, focus on yourself for a bit. Realize what you really want to do. You know, it's like, okay, do I really want to make music? Do I really want to be a businessman? You know, you gotta come to realization with yourself. Like, you gotta do something that you enjoy. And so, like, that's just how it works.
What are some ways you plan on or already have done to help grow and expand your business?
So, I've been watching like a lot of videos on YouTube about like marketing wise, because my marketing sucks. I mean, I'll use Instagram promotions to, like, you know, promote it, to promote a post, promote a release or something. But I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos where, you know, surrounding yourself with people that are in the same circle as you, is like, such as like, you know, contributing with other people. You know, I've seen myself just not contributing with like a lot of people. That's a bad thing. You know, I'm trying to get myself more into that. You know, learning more from other people. You know, trading ideas with other people. And also another way is, you know, I told you earlier, like playlisting. You know, if you don't invest in your music, your song or your single is not gonna be good. You're not gonna get a lot of streams out of it. And so that's what I learned. You know, if you invest into your music, if you invest into, you know, getting your cover arts professionally done, you know, if you invest in getting videos done for like Instagram, you know, pre-release and then, you know, release, you know, all that, just so you could build some hype around the track. And then playlisting too, you know, it's gonna be expensive, but it's for the better you know. Like, it's
at the end of the day, you see it and you're just like, okay, I see where it went. You know what I mean?
You know, you see some improvement. It's basically, if that did good, copy and paste that. You know, keep doing that and boom, boom, boom. But obviously with a different game plan in some way. But, you know, do that. Keep doing it.
Okay. What's that?
So what's an advice? Because you know how a lot of people, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of DJs that are gonna look into this video and be like, and they're waiting for that one question that's probably, you know, what kind of advice could he give me out to start? What would you tell them?
To start, yeah.
Yeah, what would you tell the up and comer that wants to be?
An up and comer. Don't stress about it too much. Don't expect so much from your like first release or first DJ act. You know, ask that, because, you know, if you expect so much from something and you're barely beginning, that's what's gonna bring you down. That's gonna bring your motivation down, because, you know, you're like, oh, I'm gonna release this song. You know, it's gonna get 1,000 plays. It's gonna get on the biggest playlist on Spotify. Don't do that, because you're just hyping yourself up. And then when you see the end result and that doesn't happen, that's just gonna bring down your motivation. And
like
so,
a setup for failure, kind of
Yeah,
what you're saying. You know what I mean?
you know, so don't it's not bad to expect to, you know,
Have that.
it's not bad. It's a good feeling, but don't do it too much to the point where it's just gonna like bring you down. You know,
Like, have the vision of it, of what you're gonna do, what you want to see in your life.
you know, you want to expect what's gonna happen. Like when I first released my song, I didn't say, oh, you know, it's gonna get played by Martin Garrix. It's gonna get played by big dudes. No, And I told myself, okay, it's gonna be my first release. It's not gonna be my best, but you know, it's gonna be out there. You know, people will know about it and be like, oh, you know, cool. You know, he's making music. So don't expect so much. Don't expect so much. Don't expect like, be real with yourself. Be realistic. Don't expect so much from your first song. You're not gonna get 1,000 followers out of just by
your first song.
track, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
You ever thought of like, experimenting with like other type of music besides EDM?
Yeah, that's I besides EDM, you know, I experiment with a lot with hip hop. I experiment with Mumbathon once. You know, I experimented with cumbias once.
He said I did it. No, but that's cool. I mean, because in the parties, even there's people out here that don't like that.
You know, and you could even come up with an idea with the cumbia and maybe even mash it with EDM or something. You know,
I've never
you
heard
could,
something like that. You know?
Yeah, and so like experimenting with different genres is really gonna give you more ideas on how music is structured in a way. You could probably structure it in a different way with like say, because EDM is you know what EDM how it's like. You got the build up, you got the drop, then you got the break. And you never know, you could get a cumbia, you know, chill, you know, and turn it into
You ever thought of doing like R&B or like soul type of stuff?
Nah, to be honest, nah. Like I haven't experimented with
Will you ever
R&B
give it a
yet.
shot though?
Huh?
Will you ever give
Yeah,
it
I
a shot
would do
though?
it.
Sebastian's like, come on, bro, do it with me, man.
Yeah, bro, come on, trying to work something right here.
trying to get something
You
going.
know, well, besides hip hop, EDM, like what other genres do you listen to?
I listen
And
to
and what's a guilty pleasure? Like what's something that you don't show anybody? Like like you feel like, man, if I show this to my homies, I'm gonna get clown on this shit. Some shit.
Damn, bro. I've always wanted to try rapping, but no, dude. I like when I'm experimenting with beats, I just I say some shit like, oh yeah, but obviously it sounds stupid, it's just right off the top of my head, but I would be doing rap, but I just feel like it doesn't fit for who I am, it's like I would do it, but it's just not who I am.
Nah, I see the EDM and I see the DJ, like it fits, you know what I mean? Like it does fit.
Well, I know ASAP Rocky did something with Skrillex.
Yeah, that's something I want to do. That's it.
Okay,
That's it.
I know.
That's what I'm.
Kendrick Lamar and Skrillex.
That's what I'm trying to do with Mars from 49. He's a rapper, and I'm trying to get some rapping vocals on an EDM track, so it could be hype, so it could be dope,
At the end of the day, it doesn't just help one artist, it helps both artists.
Yeah, it's like we both get publicity, support from each other's fan base in a way. Like Skrillex got support from ASAP Rocky's fan base, and then ASAP Rocky got support from the Skrillex fan base because of the vocals, and it sounded dope. So experimenting with different stuff is better.
So we're the second part of our segment now, where we get to be a little bit more free, a little bit more bullshit free. So my first thing is this: would you rather have a rewind button on your life or a pause button? If you were able to either pause button or rewind, what would you choose?
Probably a rewind button, just so I could go back and fix the mistakes I've done. Just so because every decision you make in the past is gonna affect the future in a way. So I just feel like a rewind button is just the way to go for me. For a rewind button than a pause button. So what is a pause button gonna do? Yeah, you'll be able to catch up on time, but it's better to fix your mistakes rather than deal with them in the future.
If you have the pause button, if you're in the middle of a roast session, you're like, nah, bro, I gotta think this one through.
Damn.
Don't you always have pause moments and shit?
Yeah,
my pause moments is when I'm about to roast someone. I studied. I was like, I'm like, I'm gonna stop. Yeah, I'm
would you rather have a rewind or a pause button in your life? And why?
Honestly, of all the mistakes I've done in the past, I've got me up to here. So I think I wouldn't change anything from the past, because I tried to go off the term, live with no regrets.
YOLO!
So as I say, I guess we all have pause moments. So I'll probably go off by pause.
Pause? I would say pause too, just simple because so much shit goes on, dude, and I don't have enough time. So I'd just be like, pause, dude,
That's
pause.
true, man.
You know what I mean? Pause, let me back up real quick. And then, alright, cool, fuck it, I'm ready. Unpause, let's do it, you know what I mean?
That's another good reason.
That's I think why I would choose pause just because I'd be like, fuck, dude, like, let me pause everything real quick just to get a second. All right, unpause, let's do it.
You know, what's a goofy moment that you're like, why do that? Like,
Damn, bro.
like to this day, you're like, you know, it'd be like 3 in the morning and shit.
Yeah.
I'm still
And then
thinking
you're
about
like
that.
ready to sleep, and then all of a sudden,
I'm still thinking about that one song I released on SoundCloud. I'm like, damn, bro, that thing's gonna. You bump that in your car, say goodbye to your speakers, though.
man, if people hear about my regrets, you're like, man, how you live like this, bro?
If you could try out any job for a day, any job, what would it be?
Any job, bro. Audio engineer for sure. That'd be sick. Like owning a big studio, damn, that would be so dope.
What about you? If you could do a job for one day?
Probably be a
I'm kidding. US Kisses right there. That one, let's go.
honestly,
See, this one was short shorts.
just throw them.
You're riding a bike.
Honestly, what he said too, like, I mean, I love music. Like, I always try methods to like, you know, to get better, you know, because you know I play instruments, and you know I tell this guy also too, you know, learn an instrument, and you know,
Yeah, I would want to learn.
and because I feel like if you learn an instrument,
It'll be
you
better
kind of,
for you too.
yeah, it's like,
You understand it more, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's more like physical. Like you
Yeah.
have it on you like damn.
Like, yeah, you know, you have the keys and all that, but like, sometimes, you know, it doesn't really work out as like a guitar, you know.
Not only that, like, let's say you have a key and you like most of that key, but there's a certain part that you don't like. You
Yeah.
already know that key, so you can just go in there and be like, all right, well, cool, I'll take it out. Boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Which kind of, I mean, for the track stems, that lets you do that because you have everything on like that as opposed to just getting the beat.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of does that too. But
Mhm.
I kind of know what you mean.
Yeah.
So, what is the worst nickname you had as a kid? Personal, I will tell you.
Man, it's cause my what's it called? My middle name is Alex, but they add an IS to the end, so everyone's used to calling me that. Like Alexis, I'm like, no, dude, that's
Alexis.
that's like a girl name, bro. It's like,
Say that, Alexa.
like, nah, man.
All right, Alex, cool.
Oh, I hate it.
What
No.
about you? The worst nickname you
Manolo?
got called as a kid?
You know, honestly,
Johnny.
now,
Johnny.
I remember this one homie just came up to me. It was like elementary, and you know, my name is Sebastian, and he just went up to me. He was like, "Hey, Sebastian," and I was like, "What?" Sebastian?
Or not, cause my name's like George or Jorge. People are like Jorge. I'm like, come on, bro.
I mean, I guess
Thankfully, I didn't stick.
like not nickname, but like joke around. Like they'll say like Sebastiana.
Sebastian.
like
Sebastian.
But like throughout, no, not really. I think I never gotten like
Nah.
a nickname that was like.
One that
Damn,
stick to me though, because of my homies, is Rolly. It's like R-O-L-I, Rolly. I don't know what,
Oh,
because I look like some food named Rolly, but I don't.
Is it like that guy that we had for history?
I don't know, but that food they just started calling me Rolly. I don't know. But I was cool with that one. It sounded pretty cool. Like, yeah. Maybe Rolly. Rolly.
If there was a product that went out of business and they're like, yo, we're gonna go out of business, you guys gotta buy all this, what product would you stockpile? Like, you know, Twinkies, you know, Twinkies went out and everybody went and got Twinkies.
Probably. Yeah. Some monitor speakers, dog. Some subwoofers, all that. You know what I'm saying? Dang. Make my house into a nightclub, bro. What about you?
You know, for me personally, I like to be
Guitar
very.
picks.
Yeah, that too, but like, I like to be very hygienic.
Oh,
So
that's
I'll-
right, bro.
I'll
That's a
probably
good.
buy like. There's this brand that, like, even this brand has like hit me up on Instagram.
Yeah, like
because
Old
I
Spice.
tagged- No, it's called Quivero or something like that.
Quivero.
Yeah. Quivero shampoo, dog.
And like, I'll probably just buy that. I mean, I don't buy it anymore because I don't got hair anymore, so it's like.
Like,
But I still buy their
Yeah.
their soap
He even told me about it. I think we went to Target and he told me that, like, oh yeah, you know, this product's pretty sick.
So, Gremo,
It's
just sponsoring me. No, and you know it's cool. It's like if you really reach out to some of these people, they might even be like, you know, yeah, cool.
I gave them like a really good idea, and they were like, you know what, that's actually pretty tight. It was something about like dental care, you know, like toothpaste and shit. Manscaped.
Manscaped,
Anthony's always talking about that, dude.
Bro,
Manscaped.
Manscaped.
You know, they sell Manscaped at Target.
Bro,
Really?
for like, how much is like fucking 59, $100? Damn, bro.
Just these razors, bro.
Nah, bro.
What?
I remember I hit a freaking Body Armor to hit me up, bro.
Oh, I remember that.
I remember that.
Body armor.
They're like, nah, bro, we don't have sponsorships. I'm like, damn, I have to become a UFC fighter.
Yeah, you have body armor.
UFC.
Would you ever let your parents pick out your partner for you? Like, what's it called? Parental control or something like that? Nah.
Nah, like,
Nah.
I.
My homie said he's like, nah, because my mom has a bunch of ugly friends. So
Nah, I don't know. I just feel like everyone has different tastes, so I'm like, nah.
what about you? Would you let your mom?
I wouldn't want to be depressed with someone.
Honestly, I don't think I would. Wait, let them pick a
Yeah.
partner.
Yeah, like your partner.
let your mom pick up someone from like
Nah.
she met at Target, Cardenas.
Get a,
Oh.
get a
you
cooler,
look
dog.
good for my son. Let me give you a
Kelly,
number.
what if it's a sugar mama, bro?
Eh,
Or if it's your prima's friend, you know.
Oh, dude,
Your
no.
nah, honestly, I think I wouldn't.
Nah, bro, my mom's always fucking like, if we have like an event, my like family event, my cousin always brings her friend, and since I know her brother, like we're close, we hang out like every other day. She's like, yo, how come you don't give my son a chance? I'm like,
Oh, no más.
I'm like, yo, I just want to go home, bro.
I'm trying to get out of this party, man.
What do you?
Trying to go to the trip.
Oh, well, okay. What do you miss the most from your childhood?
Damn, hanging out with the homies in the streets, like, yeah, playing tag. You know, we had a chill spot because it was like almost like a cul-de-sac type of thing, but there's this one certain house that had like brick like barricade, and they had like this tall tree, it was like the size of this tree right here. But obviously like the branches were lower, you know, and we would just like hang chill on top of that tree. The owners wouldn't even give a damn, you know. We would also like have like pools sometimes, you know, the inflatable pools, you know, boom, play basketball. Dude. Those were the times, skateboarding.
What is one thing that you miss the
Man,
most
I
about your
just miss
childhood?
fucking getting all fucked up, you know, climbing on trees.
Dude,
I was like, damn,
this was getting faded.
Yeah, that's
Scraping your fucking legs and shit, your elbows. You look at it like, you know, you don't
I
even.
miss
Like,
that
yo,
too.
bro, this one looks pretty cool.
Yeah, this one came out
And
like
then your
ketchup.
homie be like,
Yeah.
man, look at mine, man, you know.
There was this guy once when we would hang out with him. He would always be all cut up from like on the scooter. I remember that fool, he would eat like, cause he was like low on the scooter like that, and so he scraped his whole knee on the while he was going fast, dude. That thing started squirting blood like ketchup. I was like,
There was just one
that was
moment.
gnarly.
When I was a kid, we used to have swings. I mean, they're still there though, but you know, I don't go on it because my big ass will probably finish. I mean, probably yeah, because I mean, I'm only 5'3", but anyways, that doesn't matter. I remember it was like I don't know how to describe it, but it was like a seat. It has something like this. So you know, it's like those things that rock and shit.
Oh, the
so-
little spring ones, or like the little
Yeah.
animals.
And I remember I was like, there was some homies in front of me, and they're like, I was like trying to be loud as fuck and shit, grabbing their attention, like, hey, look at me and shit.
And then I pulled me all the
I
way
just
back.
ran.
Boom, boom,
Boom! I just like all squeaky and shit.
Dude, you did a launcher right there.
And there was dirt, and there was like dirt all covering my face.
What do you think is your biggest achievement so far?
Damn. If anything, probably being able to play at venues. You know, I think that's my biggest achievement because, you know, I'm just like...
Yeah, there's a lot of artists that want to be at a venue, you know what I mean?
And, you know, I feel like that's one of them is my biggest... That's one of them for sure, but I just feel like probably getting my song actually signed to a label I've actually thought of for a while. Like, there's this label called Different Records, and so... And I've always viewed them, you know, as an opportunity for them because, you know, they have, you know, a pretty solid fan base, and so I was like, damn, you know, it'll be a good dream, you know, to one day.
Who would be like one artist that you would like to collab?
Dude, Martin Garrix. So any question you tell me about who would I want to collab with, Martin Garrix. Like, who's my idol?
For you, what do you think is your biggest achievement so far?
Man, honestly, I'll say just, I mean, it's small, but, you know, small achievements lead up to, like, bigger achievements, you know what I'm saying? But personally, for me, just making my first beat. I mean, as small as it sounds like, but for me...
You learn, too, and you're like, oh, damn, I just learned
Yeah.
something new, you know?
And, yeah, that's about it, to be honest. Like, just making my first beat, you know, still learning this whole process of music, software, and that type of stuff, you know. As both of y'all mentioned, like, you know, equalizing and, like, all that type of stuff, you know. And, you know, to this day, I still go at it. I mean, surprisingly, you know, I don't have a Mac or a what is it, a Razor. And it's funny because, I mean, I make all my beats right here on
GarageBand, dude. It's a GarageBand, that's where everyone starts.
At the moment,
but it's a good platform because that's where it is.
My next question is, what software do you use actually for your stuff? And what software did you use when you started and now?
Fruity Loops, I've only used Fruity Loops FL Studio throughout my whole...
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've experimented. If anything, I've experimented over there at what do you call that? Guitar Center, because they have like Ableton, they have, you know, Logic, they have FL Studio, and so I was like, yeah, you know, because Ableton and FL Studio are like bumping heads. Like they're like, oh, this one's better, and so I wanted to get FL Studio and Ableton. And so, you know, I was like, damn, let me give Ableton a try. And I was right there at Guitar Center, you know, trying to figure it out. I just think it was too complicated and boring.
Ooh, for real, I tried FL Studio. It sounds like, because I remember you told me about the 30-day free trial, or like...
It's unlimited free.
Yeah.
Trial,
I was like, damn, like, what the fuck is this? And, like,
yeah, dude, that's
it's like, and I see like tutorials on people, they bring out all these plugins and all these... Damn, bro,
yeah,
how do you like keep up
like,
with all this
My whole thing was this. I just didn't like when it got to recording.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing. I was like, all right, cool. I just made the sick ass beat. let me record. Like, let me actually drop a vocal. And you gotta use Audacity. And other stuff like that. I don't know, what do you use?
I've heard that Pro Tools is really good for recording, but I know for a fact, I think.
So that's what it both goes hand in hand, FL Studios and Pro Tools?
Yeah, and I feel like Ableton does have a really good, decent, you know, recording, you know, software built into it. I just feel like if you want to get next level, good sounding vocals, Pro Tools, or, you know, Audacity, somewhat Audacity, because you don't really have a lot of options there, but I just feel like Pro Tools is, you know,
the way to go.
Yeah, the way to go for vocals.
You ever thought of like going on Instagram and like this how I make my beats, you know, type of thing?
You know, I had this idea because I remember, I think
it's going on right now in the DHS, another podcast group. Shout out to them, RWE. Remember them? They're going on, and they're actually they show you how to do like a song in beat in 3 minutes, which is pretty badass. Shout out to them for doing that.
Yeah. Especially in 3 minutes, bro. It's like crazy.
They get down. I've seen their stuff, and I've seen their hotbox videos too. They get down too. Shout out to them. And you should do that, like a tutorial real quick.
And on my YouTube, it's because one thing a lot of producers do is they tend to do, because when you go on YouTube and watch tutorials on how to equalize or how to mix a vocal, they get so much in depth. They get so much into like, oh, you gotta buy this plugin, you gotta buy this thing to make it sound like this. And me myself, I have a lot of videos on my YouTube where I teach you how to fit your vocals into your mix the easiest way possible. It's probably the best way. I have like 18,000 views on that video, and you know, a lot of people, I'm getting positive feedback. They're like, wow, you know, this actually sounds pretty professional. And that's all just using, you know, regular plugins that come with FL Studio.
Yeah, with what you got.
And so I don't get too much in depth into them. I just put captions, and it's like 2-5 minutes long for the video. And so, you know, a lot of people have actually, you know,
well, it's better because you're right. A lot of people do go on rambling, telling you there's the whole dictionary, And you're like, you know what, I'm barely even knowing, so all these words got me confused when it could just be like, okay, this is what you do here.
Yeah, like there's some people like, because there's something called sidechaining, and there's people that they're like, oh, you know, you want to automate the volume, you want to, you know, get a compressor, you know, make an automation, lower the volume. I was like, bro, you could just legit just go onto like FL Studio, put on a gross beat, which is like a sidechaining tool, and then you just raise the volume on how heavy you want the sidechain to be, and boom, that's it. You don't need to go make compressor, this and that, you know. It's like, you gotta keep
a lot of fucking things, just, you know what I mean? You get lost in those things, so that's why a lot of people just like, nah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
What is the first thing you notice about people?
First thing, I just gotta see the vibe of them, you know. I could tell, like, okay, I'm probably gonna be able to connect with this person, you know. Right off the bat, I'm like, okay, you know, I inspect them for that, you know. I'm like, okay, you know, let's see how he is, how he acts. And I've dealt, because I've met some couple producers who, you know, I can't vibe with it like at all, because, you know, they're cocky and they're like, hey, you know, this and that, you know, yeah, that's right. And so there's this time I DJ'd at a place, and, you know, I'm not gonna name him, but he was a DJ as well, you know. He was the second performer after me, and so, you know, I was doing my DJ set, blah blah blah, you know. And so I like to get along and connect with a lot of DJs. It's just that with this guy I couldn't, you know. He was so serious. He was disrespecting like my setup while still DJing, because like he was bringing in his stuff, and he told me, like, hey, can you remove your banner so I can put mine while I was still DJing? And so I was like, what? I was like, I'm still DJing. You know, I like examine people by the way they act and how they talk. I was like, okay, you know, I could probably connect with this guy, you know. And so like this guy, unfortunately, he was just like, fuck, he was just cocky.
Just about him.
I was like, nah, I'm good. That's someone not to connect with for sure.
Put that on a pedigree and just.
Should have just said, what? You like
And he told me to move the table too. I was like, how am I gonna move my equipment while I'm still DJing? What?
So just to end it, do you have anything else you want to say to your fans? Like, what's going on with your life? What do you have coming out?
Currently, you know, working on myself a little bit, but, you know, I'm gonna be releasing lots of new music. You know, I'm gonna be working more with like local artists. You know, I'm already in contacts with a couple of them. You know, shout out to MCKG. You know, we got something going. You know, there it is. It's a little sneak peek of what I'm working with, also from Mars 49. But yeah, you know, I'm gonna be dropping lots of brand new music, lots of different sound design. You're gonna hear, it's obviously gonna be my regular bass heavy music, but you're just gonna hear lots of different, you know, bass sounds, is what I'm saying. But yeah, that's what's going on. Just expect a lot more, you know, YouTube tutorials, all that coming soon. SoundCloud, and more music.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
You guys could find me on SoundCloud. It is just search up Quivero. Same thing with Spotify, Apple Music, you know, Deezer, Tidal, all these major music platforms. You could find me also on YouTube, which is Quivero. Just search up Quivero, and
if nobody knows how to search it up, it's right here on the shirt. Show them the shirt
right here,
quick.
Quivero, Quivero. Just search that up. You could also find me on Instagram is Quivero Music, and on Twitter is Quivero and _.